Welcome to the belly massage video, and we're gonna do self massage to the abdomen for a couple different reasons. And the first is to help with constipation either from the back pain itself causes constipation, swelling in the low back creates constipation, muscle spasms. This area is our low back, L4, 5, L5, S1, the area most commonly strained when our backs are bad. So we're going to help with constipation. I'm going to even teach you where the ileocecal valve is. It's a big name for where the small intestine enters into the large intestine. And that is like the secret weapon against constipation is massaging and opening, helping release the ileocecal valve sphincter in the abdomen. So I'm going to show you where that is, kind of, sort of. But it does not have to be precise. Just being in that area, have the intention to release that ileocecal valve, or just think of the sphincter into the large colon. That's what you want to have the intention of opening and releasing. The other thing that belly massage does is it actually calms the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest or digest aspect of the nervous system. When you're in a lot of pain, we tend to have a heightened sympathetic, fight or flight. So we're going to do this to quiet and balance the nervous system. And then also heat and massage to the belly reduces back muscle spasms. So we're doing it for back pain, back spasms, constipation, and balancing the nervous system. So let's get to it. So you're gonna lie down in whatever position you're comfortable on your back. You could have an ottoman under your legs or the laundry basket. If this is the only position you're comfortable in, lying flat on your back, then great. But if you can be comfortable here in what's called hook lying, I would prefer that for this. So what is that? Your feet are flat on the ground and your knees are bent up about hip width apart. If that's too painful to keep the knees hip width apart and you want them to touch one another and rest into one another, that's fine as well. You want to be as relaxed as possible. So you're really just trying to find a position of comfort on your back, and that's the goal here. Now, find the bumps on the front of the pelvis. That's your ASIS, and I mention them a lot in exercises. But the right bump, and then move about an inch above that. This is what we call the right lower quadrant of the abdomen. So if we think of, I'm going to sit up just to show you what that means. Maybe you won't see my head for a minute. But so here's the bumps right there. Right lower quadrant, right upper quadrant under that rib cage. And then left upper quadrant, I can follow that line of the ribs. And then there's the bump on my left lower quadrant. We're gonna start on the right, and we're gonna follow the path of the ascending large intestine or colon. And then it's gonna cross under the sternum, and then it's gonna drop down the descending colon. So the ascending colon or large intestine up, across and down towards the left thigh, and then it actually turns here. This is what's called your sigmoid colon, the lower part of the descending colon, sigmoid. It loops up and then makes a deep dive towards the rectum to exit out the anus. So it's these loop areas. So here's your under your belly button. This is your small intestine, and so the small intestine, remember we're gonna work on that ileocecal valve, or where the small intestine becomes the large intestine. We want this right lower quadrant to open up. And so under the small intestine here though, the sigmoid does this deep dive for out the tushy. So that's your quick anatomy on the colon. The small intestine is this whole middle section. It's over here, and it's a little more superficial. And then, so you can have that sense when we're working. But now I'm gonna lie back down. Find your right pelvic bone, and that's where you're gonna begin, on the right side. Now, if I was being technical, I'd find that bump and I'd find my belly button and draw an imaginary line between those bumps. And if I go a third of the way towards the belly button from the bump and up about a half an inch, that's the ileocecal valve on the bottom side of the ascending colon. Forget all that. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to find the right bump, find your belly button. If you can lift your head, great. Go find the halfway mark, go a little less, and just in that area is enough. So from here, you're just gonna do circular motions. And so I'm going clockwise. And if I wanna do that, okay, belly button, and it's a third of the way up and about an inch up, and I'm going to kind of drop in, and I'm going to visualize, have the intention of these small intestine loops coming in to the large intestine, which is large because it's like this big. And on that large intestine, let's see, right there, here's where that valve is, and it looks like this. Looks like little pursed lips kissing. I only give that to those of you who are really good visualizers, because there is so much power in visualizing that. But I think the other thing you just need to do is have the intention, relax, and do circular motions, gentle, don't hurt yourself, don't dig, should not be painful. If you're crazy constipated, is this going to be sensitive? Absolutely. But, just touching the belly when you're constipated, really constipated, or in back spasms is tender. So you're going to feel that tenderness, but you're not digging deep. I'm not even a fan of those psoas release devices where they go wicked deep in there. Because you pin the small intestine and colon. So I just got an email from a customer who asked, do I recommend those? Could she use it? And I do not recommend them. So there's my little bit. But find that bump again on the pelvis. And right above that bump is your cecum. That's the end of the large intestine. And then about an inch up is that valve. So I can come into the pelvic bone and just do some light scooping up. So you can scoop up, very gentle. This should it should feel good. If it hurts, you're going too deep. So on the scoop inside that pelvic bone, up, scooping up towards the face, then I can do more circles, gentle, clockwise circles, and I can come up, gentle clockwise circles, and I'm coming up that ascending colon all the way to, here's my rib, my lower rib. You're gonna massage in there, gentle. So who's up here? Well, the large intestine hooks up under this rib, but it happens to hook right next to liver and gallbladder. So it's not like the colon's all by itself in here. But you're just intending clockwise circles all the way up to that rib, pretty light. When you cross over the middle, I want you to lighten up even a little bit more. and then find the left rib cage and some circles in downward direction here. You can just have a little pull down here, gentle, pulling down towards the pelvic bone. So I'm moving on the left side from the rib cage down towards the pelvis. And you can do large sweeps down. You can also do large sweeps across from the right to the left. Right to left. So not only do I do the circles, but I do these sweeps across. Sweeps across. Sweep up, sweep across, sweep down. Now, for those of you who have severe back spasms, your motions with your arms might be less than what I'm like doing this big, like free, no, so it might look just like that. Just do what you can do, but that little bit of movement is going to help reduce your back spasm. So up on the right, sweep across to the left rib and down to the left pelvic bone. From here, you're going to sweep from your left pelvic bone towards your, in between your belly button and pubic bone. So this lower abdomen. So you're just going to sweep over. Sweep over. And here is a really good place to do those clockwise circles. And everything's pretty gentle. And I can look for some tender points. And if I find one or something that feels hard, you can just like linger there and do little gentle motions. Breathe into that tightness, hardness. It can be backed up stool. It could be your psoas. But you're just going to be gentle and you're coaxing softness to happen. You're looking for a melting under your hands. And I can even do under my belly button, gentle. Now here we have, if I get down low enough towards my pubic bone, I have bladder, uterus, prostate. So, you know, you're not going to press deep above the pubic bone. But I could do light massages, but mostly the focus is right lower quadrant, up, over, and down left. And you're just doing these circles, and you're up, over, and down, and over, up, over, down, and over. Whatever feels good is what you're looking for. This doesn't have to be technical, other than I invite you to have the intention to release that ileocecal valve and have that open up. And as you're in these lower, from your belly button down, this is where psoas, well, psoas is here and down and here and down. So you have a right and left psoas. But if I find my belly button, come down a half an inch, and I'm massaging in there, gentle while you're lying down, you know, you're going to be in that area where if you went deep enough, you would be accessing psoas. So, but on top of psoas is small intestine, duodenum, jejunum, and those are the technical names for the different parts of the small intestine. And then you're also, the psoas is below the colon and small intestine. So it's not likely when you're doing self-massage that you're going to access that deep to psoas, but some people do. Some very thin people have less distance to go, and it should not be painful. And other than some tenderness when you're backed up, and tenderness because your whole body's been in spasm if you've been having acute back pain and spasms. But that will help with the constipation. And that with, don't forget, heating water bottle, hot water bottle, heating pad on the belly. And my all-time favorite recommendation, which we'll have another video, for constipation, we're just talking constipation, whether it's with or without back pain and spasms. But still great to do with back pain and spasms is castor oil packs. So you can Google castor oil packs. I think I have a friend of mine who has a whole coaching session. I mean, I know she does castor oil packs professionally, but I think she has a video sequence on that. So if so, I will give you a link to her castor oil pack training. Castor oil packs, amazing cure-all for constipation, but also really good for when your back is in severe pain and spasms. The problem with that is getting a castor oil pack made and all the parts, because it's very messy and lots of little moving parts when you're in severe back pain, is probably not going to happen unless you have a helper doing it for you. But the heat can happen even when you're just in so much pain. So heating pad or preferably a hot water bottle for the belly will help reduce those back pain, reduce back spasms, quiet the nervous system, and help with the constipation that the back pain may be causing. I think you got it. So good luck. Don't hurt anything. Be gentle, be loving. And this video will be part of the constipation program that we have, but there's more specifics coming. And in those, we actually do diagrams of the small intestine, or have videos, pictures on that in the colon. So the reason why I'm sharing that is it's not a bad idea to Google if you have time and you're lying down anyways because you can't move because of your back pain. You can Google the anatomy of the colon, which is the large intestine. Same words means the same thing in small intestine. See where they are in the abdomen and help that visualization aspect of your self-massage. So, but you don't have to. We did it just in this video. Okay, enough. Good luck.